I don't care what anybody says. Dragons are always the best tribe in Hearthstone. There's been a lot of hype surrounding Dragon Druid in Hearthstone because it got a lot of support from this most recent expansion, but a lot of people have been focusing on Highlander. But what if I were to tell you that Highlander is not the best way to be playing Druid right now? So go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to let me know that you love dragons too. And before we get into the rank 1 deck for today, I just kind of want to show this post from Zeddy because it's easier to just show the post rather than going through all the cards right now. But he pretty much says, has there ever been a set of cards for one class and one expansion that even rivals this? Closest I can think of is Kobolds of Catacombs and Warlock. And pretty much what he's trying to say is that these cards right now in Druid seem to be extremely good for the class. So you have Cactus Construct, Dragon Tails, Rehydrate, Splish Splash Whelp, Take to the Skies, Desert Nest Matron, Spinetail Drake, Dragon Golem, Rostraza, as well as Fae the Setting Sun, or Fi, or however you want to pronounce it. And it looks like almost every single one of these cards is playable in one way or another, and most of these cards are actually going to make it into today's deck today, which is full-on Dragon Druid. Yang Ming ended up hitting rank 1 legend with this deck right here, and unfortunately he doesn't have a Twitter himself in order to show the actual screenshot, but just to give some extra data, McBanterface also hit rank 47 legend with Dragon Druid, and the only difference in the deck was taking out Dragon Tails for Cactus Construct. But I would actually argue that Dragon Tails is 100% the better card here because it just gives you more dragons in order to make the Dragon Golem into an absolute monster. This is the card that is by far carrying the deck in every single regard. But this deck feels like a reminiscent mix of Clown Druid and Spiteful Summoner, where it's all about playing minions, going for big board, and synergizing with hand buff cards, actually, thanks to the Snapdragon as well as the Asharan Gardens. This is probably the first deck that Asharan Gardens actually feels like a very good inclusion, because hand buffing in Druid really just has not been that good of an archetype, because there haven't been any real minions you want to hand buff outside of maybe some aggressive strategies. But this deck is more like a mid-range deck that just plays for gigantic stats all in one turn, and it's up to your opponent to have 1 or 2 cards that they need in order to get a clear. But it's hilarious how Snapdragon, even though it technically is not a dragon, which is still weird to me, is still finding a way in this dragon deck, because if you look at all the cards in this deck, all the minions, almost every single one of them is actually a battle cry. All the dragons, the whelp, the dragon, the matron, the drake, the golem, the setting sun, the Malygos, they all are battle cries, even the summer flower child. So you just have all of these buffs that are possible. And honestly, just being able to play Serenite Chain Gang as a 3/4, as a 4/5, like, it's just very satisfying to have these kind of archetypes be real. And even if you don't have your Chain Gang value with the quick draw, you still have the Asharan Gardens in order to build it up and make it into a legitimate threat. Take the Skies also gives you hand buff capability, so it's really insane how quickly you can make a gigantic dragon golem. But this is the main MVP of the deck. You have a bunch of dragons in hand, which is why you want the Dragon Tails. You can play this as early as turn 5 in some instances, because especially if you draw it from Summer Flower Child, or if you ramp because of the Splish Splash Whelp, it's also kind of a mix of Drum Druid to a degree, where if you hit your good cards, you're just going to have a gigantic board your opponent cannot deal with. And that actually raises the question of whether or not you want Drum Circle in this deck, and I have to say no, just because this deck already feels good enough without it, and you don't need to set it up in any way. Like, you could just have your dragons ready to go, and your dragons are going to have their good abilities. You don't need to also add or take out any of these other cards, because they really do feel well in the deck. So I think that you guys are going to like this, because it is a minion centric deck. It's about playing for the board and maximizing how much stats that you have. But one synergy I haven't even talked about is actually the Peaceful Piper being really good in this deck, because if you look closely, there's only one beast in this deck. So Snapdragon actually being a beast is kind of insane in order to give you that consistency with the Peaceful Piper. So the cards that you want to keep in your mulligan are going to be Peaceful Piper, Splish Splash Whelp, Snapdragon, just because you want to just play it as soon as you can, and that's pretty much the only cards you really want to keep, except maybe like a Summer Flower Child and every now and again. And if you have a good hand, maybe you can keep a Asharan Gardens, but I feel like this card is just not good to keep, because you can always find it later and buff more cards in the mid game or in the late game in order to make the big Dragon Golem. But one more question that I want to go ahead and put to rest, because this was by far the most common question that I had when playing this deck, is how good is Malygos the Spellweaver actually in this list? I think it's really good. And the reason why I think it's really good is because you have the Splish Splash Whelp for ramp, so you're not even always going to play this by turn 9. You might be able to play it by turn 7, turn 8, depending on how quickly you can ramp. You've also got the Innervate, but it's just good in order to play the Malygos because you have only so many spells in the deck. But you have Dragon Tails, you have the Gardens, you have the Innervates, and you have Aquatic Forms. So it just gives you a lot of gas and makes your draws a lot more consistent as you are trying to get those bigger boards more frequently in case your opponent does have the clears that they need every now and again. So I think that Malygos is just good for a refresh. Maybe you could fit in an Alexstrasza Lifebinder, which is something my chat was bringing up, but I don't think that extra damage is really all that good here. The biggest issue as well is the fact that if you put in Alexstrasza, like, it really only has one direction going face, and you don't usually win by having 8 damage in hand, you just win by having a bunch of Dragon Golems on the field. So it really doesn't feel like you need that extra bit of burst in order to get over the hump for the win. You just need big boards and you need big turns in order to have a big change in tempo, and that is how you win with Dragon Druid. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. We've also got a Patreon over at patreon.com/ClarkHellScream to where you can get extra perks and bonuses for supporting the content, like getting deck optimizations, coaching, as well as shoutouts on these videos. So if you guys want to get extra perks for supporting the content, go ahead and check out the description below. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck intro, and we'll see you for the next video. Elemental Shaman is the worst deck so far. The worst? Clearly, this guy hasn't played Priest. What do you not like about it? I mean, I feel like it's just a deck that gets removed. It's just a deck that gets removed a lot. Okay, so let me switch things here. It is Moo Shaman, right? Moo Shaman can't possibly be bad. There's no way that Moo Shaman can be bad. I crafted it because I made it a Reno Ogre Earthen. Oh my god, Reno Ogre Earthen Paladin. That's a lot of archetype names. Okay, so I have damage cards. I don't think I care about the Drake. I can keep the Amber Whelp. But I'm going to keep the Piper because the Piper only draws one beast in the deck, which is Snapdragon. So we essentially have 4 copies of Snapdragon. I really wish I didn't draw that. So yeah, we'll just draw the Snapdragon. We'll buff it up, and then we can play this. Now we've got some pretty big Ogre gangs. They're not really Ogres, but they kind of look like them. Ooh, wait a minute. Coin Snapdragon? No. Same time. What if it's actually the play? I can also... I can use it later. I can coin out like a 5-drop or something. I thought you were going to be playing Rainbow DK after Naga Demon Hunter. I was, but then suddenly I thought about Dragon Druid because I need to get some wins here. If I get like 5 wins in a row, then I can stop playing Dragon Druid. But I do want to play Rainbow DK. Like, I'm going to be streaming for a while. I got a lot of decks I'm going to be playing. I got a lot of decks that I'm playing right now. It does get removed a lot, but I've been running 2 cold storages with no Magatha, and I can have longer games 3 Scar in a row, which means that most can't survive. The biggest issue that I have with that, oh my god, this is actually the nuts, by the way. The biggest issue that I have with that in particular is when it comes to Elemental Shaman, drawing is really an issue. So I don't believe in Rainbow DK. Shake my head. If you forge a Mirage, you get a copy of Mirage? What do you mean if you forge a Mirage? How do you forge it? It's literally a resource that's given to you. It's not a forge card. Fuck Snake. Well, it's a good thing Snake is being patched.
Nature speaks.
Okay, so this is kind of the nuts, right? I just played Kelazeth twice. And now if I draw Dragon Golems, they're gonna be 5/6s. And I can fill the board with a bunch of 5/6 minions. I do have these, but that just feels kind of bad just to play for 4 mana. It's just a regular ass chain gang, dude. It's just a regular chain gang. I found a Mirage and played it, but the effect didn't trigger. How did you forge a Mirage? I'm very confused by that statement. What do you mean you forged a Mirage? It healed me, but didn't give me a holy card? Oh, okay, so you're talking about when the Mirage is a forge card, and then you forged it, it didn't give you the forge effect. Oh my god. Yeah, chain gang, chain gang. Chain gang better than ogre gang, bro. Alrighty, against the overheal priest, this is what it looks like. If it's a control priest, then they need to have the deal 6, and it's not turn 6. Top deck streamer, SMH. If you get a minion that you can forge, I didn't get a copy. I wish I did. Well, I do have some Highlander Paladin I want to play.
So we can see how that deck works later. So I just have a bunch of stat. Yeah, dude, wow. Play Snapdragon, find Chain Gang, instant win. Okay, we got the Snapdragon again. Playing Innervate with the Snapdragon might have been worth it. But I like the idea of trying to find, like, some ramp or something. Technically, that is ramp. Technically, that is ramp. Tomberry Blue posted it on... Oh, is that the Tomberry list? I did technically make it. I have the deck. I do technically have the deck, but I don't want to believe in it. Oh, there we go. Nice. I can actually go into Nest Matron into Snapdragon if I end up top decking a dragon. Because then I can do this into this, play the Flower Child, and I have the Dragon Golems ready. And there be my dragon.
Stay alert, my children.
Alright, now this is tempo. Now this is what I call tempo. These are my favorite kind of Hearthstone decks to play. My minions are the spells. My minions are the spells. This little whelp is so crazy, I know, right? I love this little guy. Alright, so I have to play Flower Child here.
Exist in harmony.
Okay, 4/5 Dragon Golem. I can actually play that next turn and get a lot of value. That's nuts.
Not a single scale.
I kind of want him to clear my board, so let's have him, like, set up a Defile. This actually was a pretty much perfect curve. Because we got the ramp, we got the Snapdragon, we got the Flower Child, and now we get to play big board. And the Warlock has to deal with it. The Warlock's got to pay for it all. How is he going to clear this entire board of 4/5s by turn 5? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw this here. This is turn 5, by the way. This is turn 5, and I just summoned 20, 25, and taunt stats. Bet your opponent is having fun. I mean, he's playing the Solitaire deck. Yeah, exactly. My minions are spells. Counterspell? I mean, there's objective. There's objection. There already is the counterspell for minions. Alright, that keeps him out of range. Oh, wait, but the Amber Whelp.
Who's ready for
The Amber Whelp is gonna give me lethal. Alright, well, there you go, dude. Yeah, GG, bro. Wait, why do I have 11 mana? Why did I have 11 out of 7 mana? Game, what happened? Alrighty, so I got the splishy boy. I got the pool boy. That's what we're gonna call him. He's pool boy dragon now. I don't know if I want to keep Dragon Tails, but if I play Dragon Tails and then play this, if I don't get a dragon by turn 2, it is kind of guaranteed. And now I have this on 2, this on 3, and a Flower Child on 4. I died to this card. Nerf card, he said. See, I am the complete opposite. I'm the complete opposite. The cards that I call for nerfs, the cards that I want nerfed, half the time are cards that I'm like, dude, this feels so unfair for me to be playing. I feel like this is just way too strong. Like, I feel like I got a good compass on, like, what the overpowered decks are. Like, when I play them. I haven't ran into any Hunter yet, so I really can't say anything about it. Hunter seems like it's really good. Hunter feels like it's really good right now. Okay, what is going on here? Whenever you summon an elemental, give it +2/+2. Starting to wish I had my Amber Whelp now. I guess I kind of have to do this move. This can at least trade. Like, this isn't a problem, right? You've been playing OTK Hunter? Wait, what is OTK Hunter? Are you talking about hand buff OTK? Or are you talking about, like, a bigger Jormungandr OTK? Like, what's the combo? You can't just drop OTK in my chat and then not tell me what the OTK is. Cunning, kind of wanting to put, the Menagerie Reno Paladin I'm working on. Menagerie Reno. I think it's in the Discord. Jormungandr, hand buff, and stone. Oh, the cleave Jormungandr combo. See, I had the right idea. I had the right idea. I knew what you were cooking.
We all exist in
You think I'm not gonna know what these OTKs are? I'm gonna know. I'm gonna make it my business. Alright, summoning a 3/4 honestly might just be the way to go here. Take to the Skies would have been interesting. But 1, 2, 3, 4? Potentially 5 3/4s? Seems like good value. Like, this deck doesn't have, like, that big of AoE, right? Draw a Holy Spell? Nah, I think I just always do this. Next turn, I can go for Snapdragon with this, and then I can also play the Fave just for stats. And then I've got Draw 2 dragons, give them +1/+1. Oh, that's kind of massive. Only damaging my dragons. But this actually deals with this. So I can knock this out in the process. Ooh, I really want to play that. I mean, but Snapdragon actually doesn't buff this.
Nature speaks through my tunes.
Oh wait, shit! I forgot about the ability. Whoops. I think we're still fine. Like, I mean, if this would have had a little bit of extra HP, like if this was a 3/3 and I had the 1/1, that would have been pretty good. I tried to play Dragon Druid, put A&R in place of one of the missing cards, and boom, Warlock drops Reverberations, heals from. Oh my, that's sad. Dude, like, that's the thing about Reverb, man. It's still an insanely good card, but it's apparently, like, just on the cusp of getting nerfed. I don't think it's ever getting nerfed, though. Ooh.
Stay alert, my children.
How many spells are in my deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm still gonna do this. I don't draw all my spells, but I draw enough of them, right? Who had hand buff Dragon Druid on their bingo card for this expansion? Do you think Sith Mage could be good with a 1-mana 2/2 Snake Oil guy? Yeah, it's just the biggest issue with Sith Mage is that when you start taking out cards, the deck becomes weaker because it already has like the perfect 30 damn near. The big issue is the fact that like what are you taking out? Like even taking out Prismatic Elemental, you sometimes can gimp how many spell schools you can find. That seems to be the real problem with that deck. Oh my god, and I found another Fae. If only I didn't fill up the board. I don't know, dude. I am getting some Clown Druid flashbacks with this deck. And Dragon Tales 100% needs to be in this deck in order to maximize the value. Donkey Top Decks has Sith Mage as a tier 1 deck with the 1-mana Snake Oil dude, and that's the only new card. Yeah, and that's like the thing. Like it seems to have been it seems to have taken over the what's it called? The 1/2 that gives you an arcane bolt. The mana worm, the arcane worm, whatever it's called. Come watch someone else. Hopefully they have better luck. I looked at my stats. I haven't seen a single hunter in over 70 games. I haven't seen a decent amount of hunter. In fact, the class I have not been seeing has been Paladin and Warrior. I saw one Warrior today. That was my very first Warrior that I've seen. Yeah, this guy had good synergies, but this deck is just not going to lose. For this much stats for free? Like, good lord. Photo Drake greater than Azernite? Wait, don't I have... Oh, wait, you mean the card that gives you extra dragons? In this deck in particular, you're talking about taking out Azernite Chain Gang? I 100% disagree. We are running Azernite... we are running Asharing Gardens. So we are hand buffing everything. We have Snapdragons. This is hand buff Dragon more than anything. And I don't think getting rid of Snapdragon is a good idea. And I'm going to prove it with this next game. Gotta play some Draw Demon Hunter, wink wink. I'm seeing so many Paladins. Vicious Syndicate also is talking a lot about Paladin right now. And that is going to be after I play some Rainbow DK. Once I play some Rainbow DK and see how good the deck feels, I'm gonna be switching to Highlander Paladin. Because I need to like figure out like what deck do I want to hit Legend with? That's like the big question that I have right now. What deck do I want to hit Legend with? Warrior this expansion feels like how it usually does, split on its own archetypes. Is it Excavate? Is it Taunt? Are we using Menagerie? And that's one thing I like about Warrior. It's not obvious. It's not obvious like Druid decks. Druid decks I play whenever I just want to have fun and just want to play cards. I've seen 3 Paladins today, but just some good old-fashioned pure Paladin. I swear as soon as I hit Diamond 5, it's going to be Warlock Paladin City. Well, then I'll counter them with my Death Knight. How does that sound? I'll counter them with some Death Knight gaming. I think I can get with that. If I can take to the skies, I've now got a deal 5. I also hit the Dragon Golem. Oh my god, dude, this is insane. This Death Knight's not gonna know what hit him. So I think we yeah, he's just gonna bone break me. I might as well just deal damage. Maybe I want to hit Legend with Demon Hunter. I mean, I really don't know what I want to hit Legend with yet. Like, I want to make... I want to do it with Highlander Death Knight, if at all possible. But unfortunately, the only Highlander Death Knight card that's worth it is Reno. So it's whether or not you can get away with, like, only running so many Excavate cards. You know what I mean? He's gonna bone you! I ain't getting boned. I'm gonna be doing the boning. Alright? I'm gonna be doing the boning. Ooh, stats are stats, but dragons are also dragons. I think it's dragons every time here.
Stay alert, my children.
Alright, not bad. It gives me a reason to play this, and then if he clears, I have this, and it just wins the game. I love boners. I love dragons. Maybe I shouldn't have said that after you say you like those things, but... Is Malygos good in this deck? It looks pretty good to me. I've played Malygos twice, and it's a great way to refresh, or to refill your hand. And you also have cards like the Ashardan Gardens, which feel really good to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it worth just playing a 6/5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But have the top deck another dragon. I'm probably gonna get frozen. But at the same time, I feel like just waiting is all I need to do here. The Dragon Golem is simply gonna win. What do I think about this deck over the Highlander version? I haven't played enough of the Highlander version, but this deck feels really good so far. Hopefully about to go 4-1 with it. And this honestly just feels fun, too. It's giving me, like, Clown Druid levels of power. And Clown Druid was kind of a good deck. But this deck feels a lot better because you have a lot more dragons that are doing proactive things. Pile of Bones for 0 mana. I really like the Highlander version. I feel like the Highlander version is more like a control druid, while this one's more of like summon a bunch of stats and win the game faster druid. And these are my kind of favorite druid decks to play. I love to play these versions of the deck. Alrighty, boom baby, give me all the dragons. Yes. Freeze that. Oh wait, you can't. It's not turn 7 yet. Surprise. Maybe I should have just played the 6/5 though, because I could have dealt some damage here. But that's not gonna be ready, man. And now I have taunts, so it's like he can't just spam to my face. I don't know if someone designed the 2/1 Wild Growth and someone else decided to make a card as horrible as Slugmaw. Hey man, don't you dare make fun of Slugmaw. We just don't know what kind of deck he belongs in yet. He will be good. Alright? Just believe. It's a 4-mana 16/16, man. Of course it's gonna be good. It'd be so much better if the Dormant reduced by 1 for each time you excavate it instead. Also, Slagma balls. Oh yeah, it's Slagma, not Slugmaw. Damn it, I'm contributing this misinformation. Darkness is a 4-mana 20/20. Nah, man, it's a 4-mana, turn off your opponent's Highlander capabilities. Alright, so it does not look like that will win. Even with the hero power. Yeah, this deck is good. I think we can safely assume that this deck is good. Got to rank 5 with pretty much just playing dragons.